Hello and welcome back to the channel, Cali Legends Media. Before I begin, I want to say thank you to all the subscribers. To you new subscribers, welcome to the channel. And thank you for hitting those like buttons, hitting that hype button whenever you feel appropriate. I really appreciate it very much. And thank you for all the prayers for my grandson Levi. Thank you very, very much. Just by the way, just an update. There hasn't been any change. Yeah, uh, we're still hoping for a miracle. Okay, so this video is going to be about a situation that took place in LA County Jail. I know a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people. Chicano too. He doesn't like, or he has some type of problem with people who uses prison and gang stories and jail stories to try to reach out and to youngsters and or to pull a lesson from an experience in there. I could talk about other things. Aerospace manufacturing, quality control, aerospace safety, auto mechanics, management, working in management, barbering. You know, there's a lot of subjects that I could talk about in depth, but that's not what we're here for. Okay. I doubt anybody would watch one of those videos on this genre. So I'm going to do what we do. And I'm going to give this county jail story to talk a little bit about courage, commitment, loyalty, and other traits that this guy displayed that you're gonna recognize as you hear the story. Okay? Now, I was in the LA County Jail. I don't remember what the charge was. But back then, during that time, they actually used to sell everything. They'd sell bunks. If you wanted, well, I know that the blacks sold bunks. If you wanted a bunk, you had to buy one, you know. If the raza sold bunks, I don't know. I never experienced that. Nobody ever tried to sell me a bunk. I just heard that they were selling the bunks. Some people were selling the toilet paper. They would covet the toilet paper. And if you wanted toilet paper, you had to trade for something. So it got really petty for a while in there. And I had already got in a bunk, okay? And I had been there for quite some time. I was waiting to go to court. I wasn't feeling good, so I hadn't slept in a while. And there was another dude in there. He was from Juarez, Maravilla. I never met him. I never talked to him. I knew who he was. He knew who I was. And, you know, it's just because we met there. And that was it. Well, and by the way, somebody in my comment section asked me if I had any stories about Juarez Maravilla. So I thought I'd give one that was intimate to me, you know, that I experienced dealing with somebody from Juarez Maravilla. That was, in my opinion, a very reputable person. So anyways, so I have my bunk, right? Finally, my court date came. So I told the guys all around my bunk, okay, I'm gonna leave my stuff right here. Keep an eye on my stuff. Don't let nobody try to come in here and take this bunk. I'm just going out for court and I'll be right back. So yeah, I go to court that day. And when I get back, you know, going to court isn't a fast, easy process. You know, you get processed out of the jail, you go to the courthouse, you wait in a holding tank, then they call your name, you go out to court, then they put you back in the tank. Eventually, some officers will come, they'll shackle your hands to your waist, or if they hook you up on a long chain, they'll hook you to another inmate and then 2 other inmates behind you. March you off, put you on a bus, take you to the county jail where you'll wait downstairs and get reprocessed in. Takes a long time. Then they'll take you up to your module, okay? Well, I was in 9500, okay? It's not a permanent housing. It's back then it was a place where you stopped before they came for you and send you to different modules, okay, in the jail. That's where you hear about 3800, 3500, wherever you're going. You'd go from 9500 if they didn't take you straight to those modules. In any case, I had been there already like maybe 8 days. So people knew me, you know, around my area. I wasn't really out and about running amok in the dorm because I didn't feel good. Anyways, after getting processed back from court, I get back to the dorm and I go over to my bunk and all my stuff's off the bunk, put off to the side, and somebody else's stuff is on my bunk. The bed's made up and everything. Somebody moved in there while I was gone. And I told the dudes that were near my bunk, I told them, hey man, what happened? I told you I was just going off for court. And he said, they said, hey, we told old boy that it was your bunk and you were out for court, that you'd be back and that was your stuff. I go, who where is he at? He was this big old tall black dude, right? And he was walking around sweeping. He wasn't a porter. He just happened to, I don't know how he got a broom to sweep. Maybe he volunteered or something, but he was walking around sweeping with this big broom, right? So I called him over to the bunk and I told him, hey, you're going to have to move your stuff. And he goes, what do you mean? I says, that's my bunk. He goes, what do you mean that's your bunk? Doesn't have your name on it? Well, you own it or what? And I explained to him, I went out to court, man. I left my stuff out here on top of the bunk. You had no business moving my stuff. And either you move your stuff or I'm going to move it for you. That was it, man. He got all irate on me and shit. So he goes out down the aisle a little bit and he starts trying to break the broom. Okay? And I'm standing there like close to him, facing him, and he's trying to break the broom into 2 pieces. Well, here comes this dude, Doc, from Juarez. Okay, now let me tell you about something about Doc at the time. He had been shot 5 times by the Uras. And the police dogs had pulled him out of where he was hiding and ripped him up, had tore him up. He had stitches all over the place from the dogs. Plus, he had 5 holes in him. And from his surgeries, he had different cuts, different places stitched up. He was doing bad. Dude was skinny, man. Skinny as hell. I never seen him when he was healthy. So the first time I met him was right there. And he was a real skinny, sickly looking dude. Okay. He got up and he walked over and he asked me, hey, Lucky, what's going on? I ran it down to him real fast. He goes, don't trip. I'm going to watch your back. I got you. And I was thinking in my mind, this dude's going to get hurt. You know what I mean? He was already doing bad. You know, back then they give you Tylenol for everything, even gunshot wounds, dog bites. But if you're in pain, Tylenol. They pump you up with Tylenol. That was the strongest stuff you would get. In any case, a couple other blacks came and got with this skinny dude. It turned out that skinny dude was a J-Cat. Okay? They talked to him and stuff. A lot of people were on their feet in the aisles, you know. A lot of people had got up, you know. Whether they were going to jump or not, that was yet to be seen. But in my opinion, the bell had already rang, and I was telling them, well, what's up, you know. I was trying to get close to him, but he was swinging that broom, trying to break it and stuff. So I said, "No, this dude, you know, I'm gonna go throw this shit off of my bed." So I went and I grabbed the blankets with all his stuff, and I walked over to him where he was with the broom, and I tossed it over there to him, and I told him, "Man, go ahead and take your stuff and go get a bed with your homies, man. That's my bed. They had already told you, and you took my stuff off my bed." You know, of course I didn't tell him like I'm talking right now. You know, I used some other choice words up in between and in the middle. And while we were talking, I had a chance to reach out and snatch the broom from his hand, right? And that dude, I turned around and looked at Doc, and Doc just had eyes on everything. You know what I mean? Dude picked up his bag and he marched. He took off. Went back to my bunk. Took the broom with me, put it by my bed, and did something with the broom later. But, you know, I made my bunk up, put all my stuff back the way I had it. But what struck me was that even though Doc was shot, had those dog bites, and was in the condition and felt the way he did, he was there for me and he had my back. He wasn't just talking. He was really there to do his best. I told him, "Nah, just kick back." He wasn't hearing it. He didn't want to hear it. He told me, "Man, don't tell me that again. I'm not gonna do that. I got you, Maravilla." And I don't know a lot of people that would have done that, you know, in that condition, to get up strong, you know, and like, "Nah, what's up? You know, he wasn't playing. You know, I don't know if he had something or not, you know, to get down with. I don't know, you know, but he showed no fear, nothing but courage and loyalty, you know, and I've always had respect for him. The next time I seen him was in the street. And when I seen him, it was like meeting a whole other person. Like I could not recognize him. And I told him, I go, "You big Doc or little Doc?" He says, "I'm the only Doc." He goes, "You don't remember me?" I go, "Nah." He goes, "In the county jail, remember, we're going to get down with them vatos because they had threw your shit off your bed and stuff when you were at court." I go, "That was you, man." This guy looked like a totally different person. He was calote, was cut up. His face was full. You know, his color was back. Because he looked like a Walking Dead man in the county jail. And again, I thought to myself, man, this dude stepped up for me in that condition, you know. And so whoever asked me to do a video about something about Juarez Maravilla, Doc was the first thing that came to my mind, and the loyalty that he displayed, and under the conditions, you know, I thought that was really big of him, you know, and yeah, I know a lot of people wouldn't have stepped up like that, you know, and some people would say they would, but I'm not sure they would, you know. And things like that happen, you know, when you're in situations like that in jail or in prison. You find out who's who and what's what, you know, because people could talk a good one behind a screen and banging on a keyboard, but when the chips are down and it's really time to step up, even when you're sick and broken or whatever's wrong with you, gunshots, dog bites, fucking flashlight therapies, you know, he was, man, I always have love for that dude. I don't know right now if he's still alive or not. If anybody knows him and could let me know, I'd really like to know if he's doing okay or if he's passed on yet. I've heard both, you know, that he's no longer with us, and then other people told me no, he's still around. He'd be about, I would say, around 65 years old now, 70 years old about now. So if anybody knows him, if you could let me know in the comment section, I'd really appreciate it. Anyways, I just wanted to do a quick story since I was asked to do something about Juarez Maravilla. I thought he'd be a good story to tell. Also, I've met some youngsters from Juarez recently at Mina's liquor store in East LA, and I asked them, hey, you guys still, got a good thriving barrio? And they were like, yeah, we're still there, And these guys were young. They must have been like in their late teens, maybe 18, 19 years old. I'm not saying this story to in any way make it sound like the thing to do or the way to be. We definitely don't want to be getting shot by police and attacked by police dogs. That's obvious. We definitely don't want to go to jail and go to prison. So we got to make sure the decisions we make, and stay focused on what's important in our lives, like our jobs, our families, our children. This is just a situation I found myself in, and he found himself in, and we came together that day, and he really showed his colors, and taught me a little something about courage and being there for somebody, regardless what the odds are, regardless what the condition is. So my respects to Doc from Juarez Maravilla, and the one that asked for the video on Juarez. I hope this suffice. And like I said, if he's around, let me know. Thanks for watching this video. People, stay free. God bless you. God bless your families. And I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you very much.